Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showcasing a couple more duels with the CB deck version 2. Now, we just finished at this locals going 3-1, and the only one loss was to a clan deck, which honestly was because we had a really bad hand, and even with the mulligan, we should have just given up. We ended up opening with a bad hand, pretty bad, and then the mulligan was on 3 of the Cessinas and 2 arm interventions. Somehow we survived all the way until turn 7, but we could not finish off with that. That was our only loss so far. This record of this CD version has been 3-1, 2-1, and then 3-1 again. Now, we were able to play Wing. We were able to go against Wing. We were also able to go against 1 Year War. And we somehow squeezed out of both of them, which was really nice. I wish I could have recorded the duels. The 1 Year War actually was pretty tough. So looking at this hand, the hand was a hand I was deciding on, and I ended up mulligan. And we're gonna go ahead and get our shield. Our front buddy here, TJ, was able to keep his hand. He likes his hand. We're gonna see how he is using Purple White Barbatos Ping. So it's like a little control there. You're gonna see pretty much what is just pretty much purple with some white support. And it actually was pretty interesting. So we're gonna try it out. I haven't had a chance to play a lot of against purple themselves, both like the purple white or the purple blue. So you guys probably have seen my duel for the purple blue. It was very aggressive. I'm going to see if I can get more duels with that. But here, my opening hand, I don't mind going turn 1. So we do that again. We go ahead and accept turn 1. I want to use every single resource that I can on every single turn. So they go ahead and do overflow infection. For me, if I have turn 1 with the tactical visionary, awesome. If I don't, that's fine. But from my playstyle, I've been noticing I want turn 1 because every single turn and level I go to, I want to use every single resource as much as possible and maximize as much as possible. He went ahead and passed. Now I got my draw. You're going to see again with this, we're going to have 3 rounds. We're going to play with this deck. With the 2-2, I have a Look of Determination in my hand. That is my way of trying to get rid of a potential issue. So here he drops the 3-2 Roselle, the purple Roselle, the Hyakurin. So unfortunately, Look of Determination cannot help me here. So stuff like that is good to keep in mind that, Look of Determination only hits level 2 or lower tokens, but unfortunately can't do nothing with that. Now that we are on turn 3, we drop the 3-2 blocker Virtue that only becomes a blocker when it has a pilot. Unfortunately, I do apologize. You can't see the trash of my opponent, and you also can barely see the glare. That is the reason with the microphone, the way it picked up, there was so much noise that we're doing a voiceover today. So he went ahead and cracked my EX base. So sorry about the glare, but we're going to try to explain as much as possible. He then summons Barbados Adept and pings my blocker and himself and passes turn. So overall, I do like this deck. Version 3.0 is still in the works as I try to figure out what I don't like and what I do like, depending on the deck that I'm going against. There's things that I wish can change. Like I said, Look at Determination is great for aggro, it's great for everything else, but unfortunately, when someone drops a 3-2, you can't do anything when it comes to it. So with my hand, I go ahead and tap 1 for the base and grab 1 from the shield area. Because I'm going to try to turn my unit sideways. Again, even though I can't do anything because his units are level 3 with Look of Determination, I'm hoping to turn my unit sideways. So we go ahead and turn and put our day underneath our Virtue. So now it becomes a blocker now. I have a blocker here. Now we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with that. That is, I know you guys can't see it. I use 1 cost to bring out the 2-1 CB, the 2-2 attack, and 2 HP. The glare is unbelievably horrible, so I do apologize. He goes ahead and uses Awaken Potential, the new white command card from GDO3 that you can bounce a level 3 or 4 back to the hand. So he went ahead and use that and bounce my Virtue that had 1 ping on it and a pilot. So that's something to keep in mind. That bouncing it back is something that I did pick up on as we kept playing to, you know what, maybe it's not a good idea to have a certain unit out. You're going to start seeing as we keep playing. So he went ahead and pinged with Adept with my CB, and then he put Mika underneath it. Now, that's the SP Mika, so it looked really cool to see it. I did open to have two Mikas in my boxes, but we ended up selling them to get more of the CB stuff. So he went ahead and swing and broke my base, and then with the broken base, he swung with the other one to get the finish off the base, and then swung with the hard current to get the shield area. So here he's trying to figure out what he's going to do. Looking at his trash and just trying to figure out what he's going to do with that. Now, again, I haven't really played too much with the purple white or even the purple blue in my area. I think a lot of people are going to be picking up the purple blue. I personally like the purple blue. If I had to choose a deck to go super competitive, I think purple blue is pretty solid. This time I go ahead and do the LR Dynamis with the lock-on straddles, and went ahead and go after the Adept. The Adept is a 4 with the Mika. Went ahead and took 4 damage and recovered 2. Put another base out there and grabbed a shield. Now, what's really good about the aggro matchup is I ended up opening my hand with the aggro 2 bases, and those bases came in clutch going against a 1-year war. Being able to slow them down but having the base was one of the key factors on my winning, including Look at the Terminations. Those 2 cards were key to win my 1-year war. So he goes ahead and smacks and destroys my LR Dynamis, and then he goes ahead and hits for 2 with his unit there. So overall, he then drops the Gujin Rebake, but there's no ping that he can do for this. There was a turn you're going to see, and I don't know which round it is. I noticed he needs to have my units out to get the ping. So I started messing around with him. And you're going to see, I forgot which round it was, but it was definitely a round where I said, you know what? I'm not going to drop a monster early on. And it actually slowed him down just a little bit because he needs the ping to go off as well. But this is the first round. Again, trying to understand what I can do with a purple build. And again, I don't fully know. I do know it's purple white because we've seen the overflow and we see awakened potential, but we don't know what else he is using. Now, I did speak with him afterwards and I understand pretty much what he's using. But I didn't know what else he can have. So I'm like really deciding what to do with my hand. We are on turn, looks like turn 6, right? We are on turn 6, so we got to figure out what we're going to do. See if we can change the tide here if we can. So I go ahead and bring the Virtue and Arde back out, and I go ahead and smack. I was going to see if he was going to block it, but he did not. So we go ahead and smack just to get some board presence. Again, I have the Arde there because if he's going to destroy it, perfect. As long as it's on your turn, I can get my whatchamacallit, my draw. I put the Arde on top of it so I can rush and link and also survive the Gujin Rebake because of it only having 3 AP on the Gujin Rebake. So that was really solid. He goes ahead and does Adapt. He pings myself and also his Rebake. And then he does a Mika play again, pops my Virtue, gives me the draw, and he pings the Adept itself. So he goes ahead and smacks 3 to my my base to destroy it, and then smacks the Adept. Now I was counting the cards because I wanted to see how many were engraved, and I'm counting to see how many do I have engraved. Do I have enough for 10? But then I realized it doesn't even matter because he doesn't have any more units. I was hoping to see if I had at least 10 cards in the grave, I could have maybe possibly destroyed it, and that was the reason why I was looking to see like, oh, do I have it? But in my mind, as I was counting, I know with Look at the Termination, you gotta have active units. So we just hit, I think, 9 or 10. So there's not enough in the grave for that effect to go off. So now I got another base, got a shield to hand. Now my back is against the wall and I'm trying to figure out what I can do, because every time I do something, he has some ping and he's able to answer it. And again, when it comes to purple, the Barbatos, the IBO side, they ping very, very efficiently. And whatever trades you would do, you can make those trades work in your favor. So I'm really trying to decide what I could do here. Now, we are technically on turn 7. So I believe I did have in my hand Trans Am, but it did not matter if I had Trans Am or not. So I'm really trying to decide what I can do in this specific scenario. So we go ahead and drop for 4. We put the Dynamis LR with the lock on straddles. And now we are going to go ahead and swing, and we're going to decide to go against the blocker. Take 3, but recover 2 at the end. The reason for that is I didn't want him to block any more of my attacks. So when I do attack, I'm able to pretty much survive when in that scenario. Also, by doing this, the Adept is 2, and also Mika is 2, so it's 4. So if I was to go against and attack that Adept, I won't automatically die because I would have 5 HP's taken damage and then recover 2 off of that. So I'd be kind of back where in a 3-point scenario. So I figured that was a better play to actually do. So I can eventually do that with the next turn. Now, I dropped a 1 cost of the 2/1 again, CB, the 2/2s, just to have a little bit more board presence because I still had 1 resource. Now, I don't remember if I had at this time. I didn't check my hand, but it could have been arm intervention potentially for me. I wasn't sure if he was going to, because he could technically, he's a 4/2 level, so he could technically attack the base. So he goes ahead and decides to pump up with the new Taiwa's unit that you ping one of your units, it gets plus AP damage. So this I was not prepared for. And so now he had enough damage to destroy it. So I was not thinking he was going to have that. And I believe I did had arm intervention. But again, it didn't matter because he decided to pump it up and obviously get rid of my unit. So this, again, cards that I'm not thinking about. Because that's a level 4 unit, I have more than 10 in the grave. I was able to destroy that unit and use Look at Determination. Again, really great card to have. Now you're smacking level 4s. Again, I know some people like it, some people don't. I personally do like this card. We ended up dropping another unit. I believe that was the... I can't even see the glare. But we dropped another unit. I went ahead and smacked it for 2. Again, I have yet to even destroy his EX base. He's been putting a lot of board control and getting rid of my units. And as you see, I have 1 base and 1 shield. So it does look like he has a way big advantage right now. And his hand is not that bad, too. He still has... hand advantage in this scenario. So he decides to go ahead and put a base out there. He puts the Frieden base, which mills 2 into the graveyard. Again, really helping him with his Gundam Lupus. With Lupus, you want the stuff in the grave. So by having that base, milling 2 helps him out. So it feeds that Lupus play. And that's something that we have to keep an eye on now, is that Lupus is not... it doesn't have any restrictions. It could do it more than once per turn. So he goes ahead and banishes 3 or exile 3 to do 2 damage. He goes ahead and destroy that. Do 2 more damage, and then he decides to destroy. So, that was the Gundam Axia, the normal one. So he was able to destroy both my units, which is really, really awesome. This card is, if you play it correct, Lupus is a really awesome card. He is in my purple build. So I decided to now just flood the field if I can. I have Axie on the board, and I also have another unit. Again, the glare on this, we didn't notice it until later, how bad the glare is. I think it was around 2 or around 3 that we were like, oh, the glare is actually pretty bad on here. But we just summon 2 units out on the field so that even if he decides to ping and destroy, I have a way to keep 1 monster alive if we can. So now, again, he has a good hand advantage. I think he has like 4 cards in hand, and he was able to drop 2 units. He decides to pass and give me the advantage right now to see what am I going to do. He wants to react to what I'm going to do. So I decided to take that a chance, and I decided to Fatal Strike the 1 unit he decided to put down. I believe it was the Hyakurin. So I went ahead and destroyed that. A card that could be very, very powerful. And then we ended up dropping, I believe, can't see. I think that was a Virtue. we go ahead and decide to destroy base because there's no units on the sides. So we need to just put a little bit of pressure on him if we can. So we went ahead and passed. He has 2 units, but again, by him just having stuff in the grave, he's just going to be able to fuel himself to destroy my units. So he's going to have to now start attacking to be able to actually put some pressure back onto me. So he decides to do 5, and I said, you know what, arm intervention. I want you to actually come over here, and we just go ahead and destroy. The unit that I dropped was the 5-4 blocker. Oh, the 5 AP 4 blocker. So I decided to arm intervention, and while in my arm intervention, he went ahead and started moving his cards, and I started to move my card too, and realized, hold up, I can do this right now, and it was use look of determination, and I can action on top of my action if he had no other recourse, and I was able to go ahead and destroy his other unit. So look of determination came in clutch because if I would have let him attack, he would have been able to actually not be destroyed. So I swung with one of my units, and it gave him a base he was able to mill, which again just helps him. So he went ahead and bounced one of my units, and then put back the Axia. So Awakened Potential, again, is really interesting because at the end, if you have more than 2 in the grave, you can give one of your units a blocker status, which is really cool that turn. And I do see that effect. I don't know if it was this round or next round. We do see that occur eventually. So he does Gujin Rebake, pings it, and then destroys my unit. And I had Gundam Axia on board. So he went ahead and was able to destroy that unit. So next, he goes and drops another Gujin Rebake and pings my normal Axia and drops Laughter. And then he realized Laughter wasn't what he really wanted to drop. It was actually the 2-1 Gujin Custom 2. So now on my turn, I go ahead and just summon another unit. I believe that is a 2-cost unit. So I'm trying to see what I can do. I can't really attack because he has enough to get over me. So I'm going to have to pass on this. There's nothing I can potentially do at this moment. He does have some way to block me if I do decide to attack. So on his turn, he decides to put Laughter. Laughter would then give him enough to break the base and have high maneuver, and he destroys the base. And then he hits with my level 2. I draw a card, and then unfortunately I don't have anything to actually stop the other attack. So that was round 1 was on for him. So now let's go ahead and go into round 2.